Good morning, my dear students. So, I welcome you all for today's computer class. And today I'm going to start a new topic for the chapter, that is invoking a method. So, here we'll be learning about how to call a method there in a programming. So, my dear students, calling a method is known as invoking a function. That means when we call any kind of method there in a programming, that is considered as invoking a method or function. So, after a method has been defined with appropriate prototype. So in last class we have learned about prototype, no, the statement of writing the method along with the parameter or the method signature is called as method prototype. So after a method has been defined with appropriate prototype, next step is calling this user defined method when required. That means now after writing the statement, that is prototype or method prototype, now the next step that we have to follow for the method is we have to call the method. Okay, so user defined methods when required also can be called. All right, now according to this invoking a method, so there are two different types of user defined methods. So we can find two different types of user defined methods. The first one is called as static methods. Okay, so static methods are the static methods are class methods and belong to class. That means whatever method is defined, okay, there in a Java programming, okay, with the help of a keyword that is static, that is considered as static method. So this belongs to class. That means static methods belong to class. All right, now I written one small point out here which is important. So they can be created. So they means static methods. All right, so static methods can be created by using the modifier or the keyword that is static on the method prototype. So that means here in the first kind of user defined methods, that is static method, so we can use the modifier that is static there in the method prototype statement. All right, so I'd like to explain the same thing with the help of example also. So if the prototype is, okay, prototype, if the statement is given as I have written out here, like public static void square root, okay, in short form sq root is written and parameter is given inside the bracket. Okay, so here static modifier or keyword has been used, so that is why this particular prototype is considered as what kind of method? Static method. Static method are the method with which has got the modifier static there in the prototype, like here in this particular example. Now the method, okay, for this one, for static method, the method can be invoked. That means the method can be called by two different ways. Okay, like here directly as double x equals to square root 81, like here in the first kind of static method. Okay, the first kind of user defined method which is static method, so we can directly invoke the method also, like it is given out here, it is shown out here. Okay, double x equals to square root 81. If not, we can use another way also, that is by creating an object for that particular method, like using object reference. Okay, double x equals to obj1 dot square root 155, the parameter inside the bracket. So here in the user defined method, the first kind of method, that is static method, we can invoke the method in two different ways. The first one is by invoking directly, like as shown out here, and second is by creating the object reference. Also we can invoke the method there in the programming. So these are the two different ways that we have to use. Now the second kind of user defined method is non-static methods. So the methods that do not use the keyword static in their prototype are known as non-static methods. That means there in the prototype, if you don't find the use of modifier or the keyword static, that particular method prototype is considered as non-static method. Understood? So the format for non-static method is written out here. I have shown you with the help of the format and with the help of examples as well. So the format looks like this for the non-static method: public return type, method, and the parameters will be given, and the body portion of the method also will be given here. All right, so here if you see, static keyword is not used. But if you check out here in this particular example, the first example for the static method, so static keyword has been used. So this is how we can differentiate between the static method and non-static method. So sometimes during the exam time the differences may come. Okay, write the difference between static method and non-static method. So at that time what you can write is, in static method static keyword will be used, whereas in non-static method static keyword will not be used. Okay, this is how you can write the difference between static and non-static method, and you can show the examples also. Okay, you can make the second point as example during the exam time, okay, when it comes for the differences. Now example for the non-static method also is shown out here. The first example, public void add. This is the non-static method. All right, so where you don't see the use of keyword static, so this is considered as method prototype. So I have written this with the help of single line comment symbol. Now second is public void this message. This is the second prototype. Okay, and I have written the comment, single line comment, that is method prototype. So this one is also the example for non-static method where you don't see the use of keyword static. Now for the non-static method, what we have to do usually is we have to create the object for the particular method, and we have to invoke the method also. All right, by creating the object we have to call the member or the methods. Okay, now these methods can be invoked only after creating an object of that class. That means the second kind of method, user defined method, which is called as the non-static method, we can use these there in the class or inside the programming by creating or after creating an object of that class only. Like now how to create an object there in a class for the second kind of method, which is non-static method, is in this manner. Okay, there in the syntax what you have to write while creating object is object reference, method name, and parameters. So parameters, sometimes you can include the parameter if it is given. Okay, otherwise just leave blank. So I have written optional also. So sometimes parameters will be there, sometimes we can just leave it blank. Okay, the parameter list can be left blank also sometimes. Okay, the example after creating and after invoking, okay, how to invoke the method for the non-static method is in this manner: s1.add. Okay, method calling through objects. So object here is s1 and this is the method, and this is how it has to be called. Okay, by writing this particular portion. And second example is s1.disp message. So these two, okay, creating object statement is for this example. Like public void add is the method prototype for the non-static method. For this one, how to call through object is by this way, by writing this particular portion s1.add for this example, and for second example s1.disp message. So this is how you have to call through objects for the non-static method there in a programming. So my dear students, in today's class I have selected a very short topic, but this is very much important. All right, so this invoking a method and whatever I have made notes for this particular portion, kindly listen this explanation properly, and I'll be sending the same notes there in the PDF format as well. So kindly write that particular PDF format notes there in your computer application copy properly and try to learn each and everything. Okay, if you don't understand, then you can just make me a call personally also. All right, so till then stay safe. Okay, till next class stay safe and dedicate more time in studies, because your exams are nearby, so dedicate more time in studies. Thank you and have a great day.